gonna go to breakfast again. Actually, we're going to the same place as yesterday because we liked it so much and we're in the mood for Bahn Mi and a good coffee, so we're gonna go back to that place.
And how was your first day in Hanoi, Vietnam?
Oh, it was amazing yesterday. We had like a little tour where we just walked around, which we saw on Lonely Planet, like a little walking tour, and at the end a street food tour, which was amazing.
It's our second day, so we just had breakfast like you saw, and now we are here at the Imperial Citadel. That's the first activity of the day where we're taking you, so follow along. The Imperial Citadel is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and was only reopened in 2012. It used to be the hub of Vietnamese military power for over 1,000 years. Under colonial rule, the citadel was largely demolished and only the North Gate and Flag Tower survived and were restored. Today, there are several archaeological sites with ongoing excavations of ancient palaces and imperial gates. The main gate often serves as a perfect backdrop for photo shoots, especially for ladies in beautiful Vietnamese dresses. We saw so many groups of girls taking pictures here. After passing through the main gate, you can find many beautiful artifacts on display. Several on-site exhibitions cover thousands of incredible relics from as early as the 7th century. As we were visiting Hanoi right after Tet Festival, the Income Hall had some beautiful displays showcasing information on the festival, as it's the most important celebration in Vietnamese culture. The grounds are quite extensive. In the back you will find fascinating military command bunkers from the American War, which is what the Vietnam War is called by the Vietnamese. Inside you can see tools, maps and communication equipment used during the war by the Vietnamese military command. Also, it smells phenomenal here in the parks as there are many pomelo trees around. If you walk all the way through the citadel, you will arrive at the North Gate. Here you can grasp the country's history even more when you see the cannon marks, which are still left within the walls from when the French attacked the city in 1882. After the Citadel, we headed for the West Lake, which is a pleasant change from the more chaotic Old Quarter. On the way, we passed by the Truc Bach area, a lesser known spot. Not many tourists visit here. It's filled with local cafés and eateries. There's also a street with pastel-colored houses and a really photogenic bridge decorated with lanterns, like this typical image you might have of Vietnam. It's a very picturesque area to pass by on the way to the lake. Most people come to the West Lake to visit the Trấn Quốc Pagoda, one of the oldest pagodas in Vietnam. You wouldn't think so at first glance, as it looks rather new with its clean orange bricks. The whole area in the pagoda are absolutely photogenic and have the perfect backdrop with the lake behind it. Close by the Trấn Quốc Pagoda, you can find this lovely small temple on an island connected by a beautiful bridge. It's not the most richly decorated temple around, but a tranquil sight, especially with all the fishermen nearby trying their luck in the lake. Of course, we had to make a quick stop for another amazing Vietnamese coffee in a local place nearby. From the lake, we walked to the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum complex, an important pilgrimage site for many Vietnamese. The mausoleum is located in a traffic-free area surrounded by botanical gardens, monuments, and pagodas. It's usually crowded with groups of Vietnamese paying their respects. When we passed by, though, it wasn't open as it is only accessible on certain days. Also, make sure to visit the One Pillar Pagoda located behind the mausoleum. This pagoda is unique, made out of wood and built on a single stone pillar. It was designed to resemble a lotus blossom rising out of a sea of sorrow. Hey guys, to get in more on our Hanoi adventures, we still want to go over our last day. So in total, we spent 3 full days in Hanoi. That's the minimum we can definitely recommend. We were sad to go. We loved the city. It was
amazing.
And we're actually secretly already dreaming about going back.
Yeah, whenever we have that with a place that we actually fall in love with.
Yeah.
And we really then already make our plans to return or what we can do like in the future with that place.
Hanoi is absolutely amazing. Let me know if you've ever been in the comments and what you loved about it, because yeah, we're totally in love.
It's actually funny because the day we arrived there, the evening, we already loved it. Like we were already, man, this is so cool. But you never wanna, like, how do you say, do that the first evening because there's still so much to come and maybe things are changing, but we had this feeling inside of like, oh man, it's amazing here.
Yeah, it has been quite a while since we had that feeling with the place, such a connection and the excitement. So, but without further ado, we will get into our last and third day. As usual, we wanted to go for breakfast first, but I checked the times. It was a Saturday of the train station, the famous train station, and we just got ready and I said to Moritz, oh my god, the train is coming. Do we want to go?
Important part though is you can't just walk on the train tracks. So there's usually a police officer or somebody, I don't know if he's from the railway company, but he's gonna stop you. You can't pass there.
True.
But there are a few people standing around which then point towards you and ask if you want to have a coffee, because those people like basically invite you.
Yeah, you need to
the train
be
station, to the train
invited.
railroads.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for these hustlers that get you to their cafe, and then have a seat, order your coffee and await the train.
Indeed.
We will put below the hours of the train.
What was it again? We went at 9:40, 9:20?
9:20.
9:20
They're more in the weekend than during the week. It's sometimes not really clear, but there were a lot on Saturday. That's why we went, and that's quite something actually. They come very near.
Yes, also get ready for a lot of tourists, a lot of people taking videos, pictures on the trail tracks.
I mean, the street is really Instagram worthy. The way they decorated the cafes.
It was also the first time I've ever seen a street like that anywhere. I don't think I've seen something like that, so it's quite unique.
Indeed. So it's quite an experience, and everybody is having fun afterwards. Taking their pictures on the track. And
so after that, we actually went to search for breakfast, because for Hanoi we opted not to have breakfast at the hotel. We saw that there might be a lot of good options to try the local breakfast there, and there sure were a lot of options. So we actually went at that day to the Banh Mi Ko Chun, which was super delicious. So we ordered there a Banh Mi and had some coffee as well.
Yeah, and I had the kumquat juice, which I can really recommend. Overall, this was my personal favorite banh mi from the whole trip. The owner is super lovely. He's a young guy that started not so long ago, right?
Indeed, it's like a very small cafe, and he's like the owner, he's the chef, he does the coffee, so it's like a one-man show, and he's the sweetest guy ever.
Yeah.
So please, we're gonna leave the address, and if you're there, check it out. It's super worth it.
Yeah, definitely go there. We highly recommend this place. So after we were fully set for the day with our breakfast, we headed out to the first site, which was
the Temple of Literature.
Yeah, do calculate a little bit of time for this one, because it's a bit bigger than just like one temple. It's quite a big ground.
Indeed, it kept going. There was a funny thing, because we thought after a house gonna stop, but it went on and on and on. And actually, last house was the prettiest. That we went into. So you learn a lot about the culture, the Vietnamese culture, the influence by the Chinese. You learn about, of course, the literature, so their scripture, language, teachings, all that.
In total, I think it were 5 courtyards to cover, and the first you can just like stroll along, and then towards the end you actually have these small museums on the side.
Super interesting. Highly recommended. And one, you can also practice your own Chinese characters.
Yeah, it was fun.
Which were super out of practice. We're not really good at it anymore. We haven't practiced in a while.
No, but it was fun. And on the other side of the same courtyard, there are these that practice the art of calligraphy.
Right, so you have some, let's say, old masters, and you can get like a scroll, either with a character, like a Chinese character, which then has a meaning, like luck or health,
wealth,
something
health,
like that.
Whatever wish or fortune you wish.
They're gonna paint it right on a scroll. And there was another person as well, like another master, and he was painting more, I think, some wishes. So there's like something as a souvenir, for example.
And then of course you had a temple on site, which was really beautiful. And it just kept on coming. At the end you still had like a building that you can go to the top to have a little bit of a view. Yeah,
it was like an old building, again with some shrines, beautifully done. You can see a lot. It's like really worth to spend some time in there.
I think all in all, we must have been there maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours, I think, at least. Beware though, we went on Saturday, and it was full of classes. We had students there after graduation. We're taking pictures, they were taking videos, mugshots, everything. We had aunties like dressed all in traditional Vietnamese styles, taking pictures.
The photo shoot gang. we saw them in every major site.
But there especially. So I think like locals really go there for pictures because it is a beautiful setting. It's super picturesque. So a lot of professional picture taker as well.
And they're so beautiful in all their colorful dresses. They're quite a sight themselves. Sometimes they ask pictures with us. This time I asked my own.
That's funny, yeah. And I remember in the beginning when we entered, there was a lot of children. Like classes and classes of children coming past, and they're always like waving and trying to talk English to us. It was super cute, but it can get busy on the weekends.
Indeed. So after that we obviously got hungry again.
It was already afternoon.
Yeah, so but also one of the major activities in Hanoi what you can do is just eat.
Eating and drinking.
The food is so good, so
totally.
Yeah. We headed back a little bit more towards the old quarter where we passed by Pho 213. I don't know if it's a chain or anything, but
I think these places are just called after the street number that they have. So it's like in the street number 2, they call themselves Pho number 2.
Yeah, indeed. And it was a really good one. Maybe one of the better ones that we had in the city. Really good meat. So yeah, we really recommend that one to try out. And after a little bit of strolling around, we got dressed for the evening, and we still wanted to have one more egg coffee before we left Hanoi. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's a really popular kind of coffee that you can have in the city, and it's super yummy. The first one I had, it just reminded me of a liquid tiramisu.
Yeah, that's what many have. Like it tastes like the tiramisu, the mascarpone cream, or some say eggnog because it's so thick as well.
It's super yummy. I do advise only to have one at a time because the first day I indulged myself a bit and the tummy did not like it.
It is quite fatty and sugary because there's most of the time 2 egg yolks in there, a lot of sugar, there's coffee in there, and just super thick. It's like really dessert, actually.
It really is. And each place might have its own twist to it. So that day we went to the Hanoi
coffee station,
and they add some rum to it.
They add some rum and some coconut syrup, and it really tasted different than the ones we had so far, but super yummy. Highly recommended, actually.
Yeah, this one definitely one of our favorites. And also it's super nice. Many of these cafes have like a little balcony. It's the perfect place to just watch the chaotic streets of Hanoi.
That one has a very cute balcony.
And then we just watched the show of the city a little bit, and then it was time for the water puppet show.
Yes,
right?
Our grand finale in Hanoi.
So if you would like to watch this show, it's a tradition. It's really something specific from Hanoi. You can find, of course, tickets online, but we recommend just when you arrive, you can walk there because it's right by the lake. Indeed. To go get your tickets yourself. If
you're interested in that, it was a show for around 50 minutes, I think also it says online. So it's not super long. Ticket prices are super reasonable. In the back it's 100,000, then 150 in the middle, and 200,000 up front. So that's not an amount of money.
No,
it's like nothing.
That translates from 4 to 8 euros.
Indeed. And I would say definitely give it a go if you're like into this kind of thing. really think it's like a great way to experience like the local Vietnamese tradition because it's performing art, like the water puppetry show, and it really depicts more the rural kind of life in Vietnam, like ancient Vietnam, in little villages around lakes and rivers, and like how daily life might have looked like there. Like you have rice farmers, like fishermen doing something. You had scholars and like all kinds of little stories. It's actually like little stories of 2 to 5 minutes.
True. And of course, yeah, it's in Vietnamese and it's with musicians on the side that use traditional kinds of music instruments. But if you want some explanation, there are audio guides available for an extra 50,000 dong.
Yeah, I have to say we took one just to give it a shot, and I have to say they're worth the price. But you only need one, basically, in my opinion, because all it does is actually give a little bit of an explanation before the play starts,
an introduction.
That you get the setting. But most of the time, you got the setting yourself, right? Like you knew what it was about. You saw a guy with a fishing rod. You knew it was a fisherman, and so on and so forth. So. But it still gives a little bit of more info.
Yeah, I do think it's maybe interesting to take tickets more to the front because the puppets aren't huge. So it's divided in 3 parts, the seatings. I don't think you want to sit in the back. Think you'll miss most of it.
Actually, first we were a little bit afraid of the front row, which we were actually put then. This wasn't our tickets, but we were put on front. And we were worried because we heard comments about getting wet there.
Indeed, that they make people on purposely wet.
Didn't happen, and we had great seats in the end.
Indeed. And yeah, that was kind of it for our last night. We still took a stroll along the lake, which during the weekend, actually, it's car free right around it, which is super nice to be able to just walk without dodging all those motorcycles the whole time.
It becomes a walking street, traffic is cut off. You have a lot of families, like locals. We saw a lot of children who are driving around with like little cars and things like that. It's quite a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, there's so much to do. So still enjoyed a little bit the city by night. And yeah, that was kind of it. The next morning was our last breakfast, which is probably one of our favorite moments of the day. Just ordering a Vietnamese coffee, sit on the side of the road.
Definitely. Especially if it's like a local cafe and you only see locals who have their drink and you're sitting then with them. It's like quite a nice mood to just be around. And that was like a nice ending for our trip, actually. Not the end though.
No.
Because we can't come back.
Definitely.